everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be trying out a super adorable trend that I saw going around the internet, and it's a technique for marbling clay. And I've actually done a small tutorial on how I marbled clay before. Well, I saw an even better way to do it, and it looked incredible, and I just had to absolutely share it with you guys. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be making a black and white marbled design where black is the base and the white is going to be marbled in between. So I've taken just a small piece of, not a small piece, but I guess it is a small piece relatively speaking, but a chunk of black clay. I don't use polymer clay a whole lot. I found myself using air dry clay a lot more frequently. I don't know why, I just find it easier to use, and maybe it's because it's I tend to buy cheaper quality polymer clay, so it doesn't always work super great. So I think this is an awesome thing to get to use up my clay with, because if I can make all of my colors look marbled and adorable, then I'm sure that I'll be able to create some cool gifts out of these that I'm super inspired to do, and hopefully you'll be inspired to do as well. So I'm going to extend this box cutter I have pretty long, and I'm going to cut this up into a series of chunks with no real rhyme or reason. They don't need to be even, they don't need to be perfect. So I'm just going to go through as much as I can, get some unique shapes in there. Really what you're going to want to do here is just cut them into as small pieces as possible, and the more pieces you have, the more marbling you're going to have. So if you want like less marbling and kind of more solid colors, you might keep the chunks a little bit bigger, or if you want them a little more interspersed and a lot more frequent, then you might want to cut it up into tinier pieces like these. There we go. Now I have a big solid variety. Unfortunately for me, it's a lot easier if they don't stick together, but we can work around it. So next what you're going to need is a plastic bag of some sort. Unfortunately, this is not the most eco-friendly of designs, but if you reuse your bags, it can be. So if you have an alternative to this, or something that you think will work really well after kind of seeing the technique, please leave it in the chat, because I'd love to keep doing this, but I'd really like to reduce my plastic use. Of course, I'm sure we all would love to do that. So making sure that my pieces aren't too stuck together. Oh, you know, I'm gonna leave that guy big. I'm gonna kind of grab them all up and pop them into this baggie. Now for the secret ingredient, and that is acrylic. The way that this is going to work is you are going to coat all of the different pieces in this color. So since I'm doing the, I want a black clay with a white marbling, that's the paint color that I'm going to choose. So if, for instance, I wanted it to be white, a traditional white marble with kind of the black and gray lines, then I would have done white with black. I'm actually out of white clay, so that's why we're going this direction. Plus, I feel like I don't really have a whole lot of black anything. You're going to squirt some of that acrylic paint into your plastic baggie and start kind of mushing it around and coating all of the different pieces in that white paint. And of course, there's a lot on the edges, so I kind of like to unfold and fold it over a little bit, get it all intermingled, and really just act as wild as possible. And it's always good to kind of check inside too, because there's always going to be just like a couple of pieces. I like to get these completely coated so that you get as much of a marble effect as possible. As I'm sure you can imagine, the best way to have this dry and dry quickly is going to be to take these out of the bag and lay them out. So that is what I am going to do. Make sure that they're coated and make sure that they have enough space to get dry. And acrylic paint does dry pretty quickly. So I'm going to hyperlapse through my pulling these out. As you can see, they all kind of look like these tiny little like white rocks almost, which I guess is kind of what we're going for, this like natural stone look, so pretty good. Some of the pieces are still stuck together. Honestly, I think it's fine as long as the paint dries, so I am going to put on the same glove. I just kind of washed the white paint off of it so that I don't cross-contaminate with my other color, and I'm going to show you the other little experiment I am doing right now, which is bronze. So this is bronze and blue, so very Ravenclaw inspired. I've been kind of on a Ravenclaw craft kick, but these are starting to look super cool with this like kind of metallic sheen on them, so I'm going to start pulling these out and lay them out to dry as well. Alright, with the exception of one small piece of cross-contamination there, these are looking pretty good, relatively separate, so I guess we can kind of evaluate some of the different outcomes depending on how we do this. Obviously with a lot tinier pieces, and then with, with more small pieces, and then with more larger pieces, and new clay versus old clay, whether or not they clump together, how they dry, blah, blah, blah. So we can also call this an experiment. Alrighty, hot off the presses, and just slightly sticking to things, which is great. But as you can see, even after peeling them up, the bottom portions still have a good amount of paint on them, which is what I was mostly worried about. I ended up leaving these for about 3 hours. I'm gonna go around and make sure all these are easily separating. Alright, getting close to the end. Now all you need to do is scoop again all your little pieces together and give them a good smush. We're going to want to mold these into one full piece. Alright, 2 blocks. Feeling good. This one's still a little sticky, and a lot of it actually came off on my palms, and I think that just has to do with the fact that it's not matte and it is kind of like a glossy metallic finish, but I mean, the job is done, so that's what's important. I'm going to start with the one that we made together, and then I'm going to cut the bronze one second. So I'm going to set this on the side with the least most color off. It's probably this one, so that it stops sticking. And now what we are going to do is I'm going to take my blade again, and I'm going to cut through and reveal the marbleized pattern inside. You can kind of start to see how it marbles a little bit on the outside with the cracks and all that, but I believe the inside's going to look better. So let's do this. Not bad. Oh my god, look at how good these look! The end pieces are the ones that look a little jank, because I think they obviously were made of less put together, but look at how freaking good these ones are! It's so pretty! Oh, I can't wait to roll these out and do stuff with them. They look so good. I really like these two. I think these turned out the best. And obviously you've got like multiple sides to pick from, so I actually wonder if maybe one of the outsides of these is a little bit better than the inside. Yeah, that one is way better than that one. See, there's only like 5 lines on this one, but just on the other side, there's so much cool stuff. Wow. Now it's time to cut the bronze one, which I'm way more nervous about. I'm afraid to push too much because I think it kind of distorts stuff, but okay, that could be worse. That could definitely be worse. I've got like a pocket in the middle. Interesting. I wonder what happens if I squeeze it more. I don't know if I like that look, actually. I've liked things better. This looks probably the best. Just all the large pockets, I think, are kind of throwing me off. And I know on the other side they're different, but they're just not quite doing it for me. So I'm thinking I'm going to try rolling some of them out and seeing if that does anything. I just don't love the way that these look, and maybe it's because I'm not a big fan of the color combo, honestly, but yeah, I would like to give this another shot. Let's roll them out and see if it changes things. I've seen uglier things, but this is very sticky. I mean, it's not very high quality clay either compared to the black. So I'm wondering if maybe this is just what we learned today, is that metallics, they don't look that bad. The metallics don't look that bad, but the clay is really very sticky. I think this was just our fail for the day, and we learned a little something. Make sure if you're going to do this, you're using some high quality clay or higher quality clay. I wonder if I can still make something useful out of these. That would be nice to see. So I think I'm going to try to cut some stuff out, maybe pop them in the oven and come back with some finished products, whatever. And yeah, then we can call it a day. So, and reveal. I made some triangular shaped earrings, and I think they turned out pretty cute. I mean, they're definitely marbled, and they look pretty good from both sides. Of course, I think these would have turned out way better if I would have had like cookie cutters or something more specifically shaped. I think the back of that one's probably the uglier part, but both front and back of this one look good. So yeah, actually, this was pretty much it. I thought these actually looked really cute, and they kind of like, they match the vibe of my book a little bit, don't you think? That vibe is practically spot on. My goodness. Generally speaking, I think this went okay. I wish I would have done the smushing and cutting maybe before the paint was completely dry, like maybe after like a half hour before it had like totally solidified all the way through, because then it made it a little bit crumbly. But I will say that the stickier texture of the clay, the blue clay, was not better than this one. I would definitely recommend getting a nice high quality clay in order to do this, so that it doesn't, even if it does stick to itself, I think these still turned out really, really nice by the end of it, and I definitely would prefer that sticking together towards the beginning of the process towards the end. I'm just really pleased with this, and I'm so glad that it turned out looking as nice as it did. Yeah, I would definitely say make sure you have high quality clay, don't let the paint dry all the way, and just go into it with vigor and purpose, and it's going to turn out great. So at the time of filming this, I currently do not have 3,000 subscribers yet, but I am hoping to reach that milestone soon, and I would love to do actually a giveaway of my book. Hi, it's me in a voiceover. I just came in to say that, quite frankly, at the time of filming this, I just hit the 3,000 subscriber mark, and I do actually want to celebrate with this giveaway. So what I'm going to be giving away with this is going to be, of course, a copy of my book, these earrings that I just made, this bracelet that I'm going to be putting on the screen here, as well as a set of Tombow markers, and I will let you pick the color of the set that you're going to win. Just fill out the form in the description box below to enter, and the entries will be open for a week. That is all I had to say. I wanted to thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I'd love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye!